Hey everybody, happy Monday. In a recent Patreon livestream, I received many questions about taking care of our mental health and making progress in therapy while still stuck at home. And I get it. Things are different. We aren't able to see our therapist in person or do many of the things we counted on to help, like getting together with friends, going to church, or taking an art class, for example. It's hard. And trust me, I have been reworking distraction plans and suicide prevention plans with my patients to better reflect what they now have access to. So let's get into this. What are some of the ways that we can make the most of therapy or best manage our mental health while we're stuck at home? First, let's talk about online therapy and what we can do to maximize it. Creating a safe space to have therapy is key. If we worry that someone is listening in on us, we won't be able to open up and benefit from therapy as much. I've had many patients and viewers tell me that they're doing therapy in their car or at the park that's a block away, or that they set up a comfy place in their closet. I know that sounds silly, but with blankets hanging around them to deaden the sound. Whatever you can do to create that safe space, go for it. Next, setting up a ritual around your online therapy. We used to have a ritual, whether we knew it or not, like driving to our appointment. Maybe we got coffee or water, wait in the waiting room for a bit, and then going in. Let's create one while we're at home. Maybe that means we prepare a water bottle or our tea or get our safe space ready. Maybe we put on comfy clothes or get dressed up like we did before lockdown, and then we head to our appointment, even if it's just in our closet. And having that ritual will help us adjust to online therapy more quickly and get our brain and body ready for it too. Finally, talk about the awkwardness with your therapist. It's okay to give them feedback about their online tactics or tell them you don't like it or it feels really odd. Having a safe space to talk about all that's going on in our minds is what therapy is all about. So take advantage of it. Okay, now on to how we can use some self-help tools and techniques on our own with or without the help of a therapist. And first up is finding a workbook that's specific to what you want to work on. Is anger an issue? Anxiety? Maybe we have some trauma in our past or are struggling with an eating disorder. I have an Amazon store that I will link in the description so you can see some of the workbooks that I like. But obviously, feel free to do your own research. Ask friends and read reviews about different books and workbooks until you find one that sounds good to you. Then, and most importantly, set a time each and every day or every other day to work on it. I usually tell my patients to give themselves 20 to 30 minutes and then move on to something else. I don't want this work to become so burdensome that it's hard to do it regularly. It's more important that we do it on a regular schedule rather than cramming it into 4 hours or something like that. And I want you to have time to digest all you're reading and working on. I don't want you feeling like you have to rush through it. My next tip for at-home mental health care is to find or engage with a support system. This could be your friends and family, or it could be friends you've made online. We need to have a safe space to talk about what we're working on, vent when we need to, and maybe get some insight and advice. Having other people to support us along the way is a basic human need. We all need to feel seen, heard, and cared for. So start putting together your support system. I have a supportive Facebook group called Kati, and I'm sure there are others on Facebook you can join as well. And I also have my journal club through my YouTube memberships, where people below the post of the journal prompt are adding in their own journaling. So that's a great way to connect as well. Find something that works for you. Next up, and something I talk about constantly, is self-talk. If we're going to try to better ourselves while we're at home, we are going to have to start noticing our self-talk. Self-talk is that voice running in your head all day, every day. It can say things like, "Oh my God, you forgot to get your clothes out of the washer." Or more serious stuff like, "She didn't call you back because she hates you and just thinks you're stupid." Too often we allow this inner voice to shit-talk us without acknowledging or even fact-checking it. We just let the thoughts come, often believe them to be true without any evidence to support the thought, and allow that thought possibly to become a belief about ourselves and our life. Don't do that. Fight back against that nasty voice. We wouldn't let anyone speak to us that way in person, or at least we shouldn't. So why are we doing it to ourselves? Start tracking these thoughts and either shrug them off as only thoughts, or if they are beliefs, maybe try to come up with a bridge statement or a more positive counter thought. And if you don't know what bridge statements are, I have an entire video about them, and I'll link that in the description. But these are thoughts that are in between the negative thoughts and the positive ones. They help build the bridge from the negative to the more positive. And just as a note, the National Science Foundation found that 80% of our thoughts every day, we have anywhere from 12 to 60,000 on average, are negative ones. 80%. That blew my mind. And also, 95% of those thoughts are thoughts we've already had before. Just let that sink in. That's why it's so important that we do this. We are having these same shitty thoughts day after day. And if we can make them just the slightest bit more positive, it can truly change our mood and our life. Okay, moving on to journaling. I know, that dreaded J word that you all hate, but I promise it's not that bad. I'm a huge fan of the 5-minute journals, and you can find them online. They're short and helpful and only take, you guessed it, 5 minutes. I also offer a journal prompt, like I was saying, through my YouTube memberships every Tuesday and Friday, right here on YouTube. Super easy. It's $5 a month and hopefully helps you get started or continue on your journaling journey. And people even journal below the post, like I was saying, in the community tab, which can be a great way for us to learn from one another. Journaling helps because it gets all that's going on in our head out and onto paper or into a document online. It can be helpful to spill all those thoughts out and then look at them a little later when maybe we aren't so upset or feeling as agitated. Journaling can help us see just how far we've come or get a clearer view of what we're going through. And if we have a therapist, bringing in a journal entry or two can help our therapist better understand us. If you're looking for a quick start guide to journaling, just try doing this every day for 5 days and see if it makes you feel just the littlest bit better. Write one thing you're grateful for, one thing you're looking forward to, and one thing that you want to work on. Just those 3 things. I promise you it's worth the work. And finally, in order for any self-help stuff to actually work, we must take care of our basic needs. Make sure that you're getting enough sleep, at least 7.5 hours, studies show. Trust me. We need to eat every 3 to 4 hours and try to have a balanced diet. There are no good or bad foods. We kind of just eat a lot of various foods. I want you to shower every few days. And do some exercise each week and connect with people. In DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, we call this HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. It's also ABCs, please. There's a lot of different things in DBT about taking care of our basic needs. But if we're feeling any of those things, right? Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, it can be hard for us to use our wise mind, meaning that we aren't able to think clearly and make good decisions. Instead, we can be impulsive, easily angered, and act out in self-destructive ways. So take care of yourself first. Overall, it's best if we have a mental health professional helping us along. They can call us out on the things that we're doing that are hurtful to us in our progress, and they can challenge us in new ways. We aren't really able to do that stuff for ourselves because it can be hard to see things subjectively. We are literally too close to it, and therefore can get stuck and frustrated more quickly. However, there are things we can do to help ourselves, and most therapy includes some kind of homework, so doing the things I mentioned can help get you on the right track. As always, if there are other things you would like to add in that have helped you better manage your mental health while at home, please leave those in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.